Just no, just no, just no, just no. So I'm back to review a bunch of teams I could care less about. That's what's going on right now. Listen, I'm back to review a bunch of teams that I could care less about. Okay. First, I'd like to give a shout out to some of my favorite fans. First of all, we've got Bertha. Bertha, I'm sorry. I just like my women under 400 pounds. So no, I cannot date you. And also Hilda, no, I like my women under 83. You're just a little too old for me. Okay, now let's get into the meat of the potatoes. Bear Basher's offense or lack thereof. Okay, okay, Lindor and Kyle Seager are the only two players that are ranked in the top 100. That's how bad this team is. Preseason top 100. Those are the only two. I mean, yeah, you had Billy Hamilton and Billy Burns. Apparently, everybody's Billy. No shit. Okay, Alaska Glaciers. Murderers Row. Did I sound scary there? I felt scared. Anyway, yes, Murderers Row. The issues that I have with this team is that I think you're expecting too much out of the top end of this. I mean, if, okay, and again, this is a huge if Nelson Cruz, David Ortiz, and Albert Pujols have their MVP caliber seasons, yes, you could definitely make a mark. And I mean, also you have Tulo and Holiday. They have to do the same thing. So maybe you got 5 guys who you gotta have amazing years out of, and I'm just not seeing it. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this team. It's ridiculous.
Yes, I'm back again to do the pitchers this season. Bear Bashers, not very good. We have... So now for Alaska Glaciers pitching staff, you have Jose Fernandez, Chris Sale, Steven Strasburg, and Dennis Salazar. A who's who of pitching. However, you've got... now it's time for Team Global Gems pitching. A lot of question marks. Now it's time for Team Global Gems pitching. A lot of question marks on this staff. Cueto's K rate. My goodness gracious. Now it's time for Team Global Gems pitching. A lot of question marks on this staff. The top 3 are amazing. Wainwright, Smiley, and Carrasco. I expect big things out of Carrasco and Smiley. Wainwright has a lot of innings on those arms, but I think he'll be all right. Now, the question marks. Cueto. Are we going to get amazing Cueto, or are we going to get last 2 months of the season Cueto? And the K rate very low for Cueto. Not exactly sure what was going on there. Also, we have Zimmerman going to not Toronto. Zimmerman's going to Detroit. Of course, Detroit, not a great place for him to be. Shit. Now it's time for Team Joe Boo. Now it's time for 5 Swords' pitching staff. This is a very good pitching staff. We've got Chris Archer, Bumgarner, Verlander, Gray. All kinds of great names there. D.O.A.F.T could come back and be phenomenal. Not to mention, Garcia had a 105 whip when he was pitching last year. My goodness gracious, man. Patrick Corbin, what if he has a full season under his belt? My goodness gracious, what a great team. Now we've got 5 Swords. This is a great pitching staff. Archer, Bumgarner, Verlander, Gray, all going to have great seasons. Not to mention, you also have D.O.A.F.T coming back. He could be phenomenal. And you have... who is he? Garcia. Yes, Garcia. A 1.05 whip for Garcia from last year. And you have Patrick Corbin coming back for the whole season. All kinds of great pitchers. Number 3 pitching staff. That's what my ranking is for 5 Swords. 5 Swords has a great pitching staff. First, Chris Archer, could be a Cy Young candidate, sleeper-wise. Bumgarner, always Bumgarner. And then Verlander will come back this year with a vengeance. And then Gray. Sonny Gray. Fuck. And now we have Murderers Row, which would be an appropriate team that does not have a lot of pitching. Insert joke here. Now, if the Yankees win 110 games this... Ow. I bit my lip. Ow, man. Hold on a second. I drew blood. This isn't even a joke, man. I really have a bloody lip. Anyway, if the Yankees win 110 games this season... No, not gonna work.
Yo, this team ain't gonna win the arms.
Why, I am Mr. Rosenblum. I've even created my own intro because anything you would make would not be near worthy enough of... That's right. Alcides Escobar. What would one like about such a player? Perhaps it was the 3 home runs he hit last year. Or maybe it's the pitching, my dear boy. Is there a reason why you don't like the ones that throw the balls into the batters? The lack thereof Gene Secura, my dear man. Matthew Moore. Matt Moore. Is it the 5.34 ERA that we are enjoying? Or maybe it is the 1.54 ERA. Whichever you prefer. Matt Moore, that is the reason your team is absolutely dreadful.
5 swords. It's kind of a surprise. Last year came in and slipped ahead of me and made the playoffs. But I think took a step back. I mean, you took your star catcher and traded him away for really nothing. Just some garbage picks. But I do see some hope. Starting pitching staff, excellent. Relief staff, excellent. So you have the pitching going for you. But your offensive lineup, I'm not impressed. It looks like there's a lot of substandard guys that'll be starting, especially at second base and shortstop. And the depth isn't there. So if you ask me, was he a playoff team last year? The statistics say yes. Does that make him a playoff team this year? I say no. Alaska Glaciers. Overall, an average team. We, in years past, have always thought that Tom was one of the best GMs, and he does a great job at running his team. But I gotta admit, Tom, there is some weakness in this lineup. I looked at your second base. I think Dozier is good, not great. Shortstop, you're really counting on a rookie and a guy who might be playing left field for his team. I look at your starting pitching staff. You have 2 or 3 really good studs, and then you have another tier which are probably replacement level. So in years past, I've always ranked Toms between 1 and 3, and I think this year you're looking at best, probably a 5th place team. Hey buddy, how you doing? Our first research subject is Alaska Glaciers. Tom, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here, buddy. Looking at your starting lineup, you're obviously really strong at first base. I think you have some good depth in the outfield in terms of players that all kind of do similar things. But other than that, I'm not a fan of the lineup. I think third base is excellent with Arenado. I think you're weak at catcher. I think that Corey Seager could be awesome, but you're taking a risk by having a rookie there, and we obviously don't know what Desmond's capable of if you decide to bring him back in. Your depth is lacking. So on offense, I think there's a lot of work to be done. Pitching staff, it looks like you got 3 or 4 really, really awesome pitchers. So from a pitching standpoint, I like what you have. But on the other side of the fence, you have 3 or 4 starters who probably aren't that good yet, and I think they could be a risk of possibly costing you a few weeks on ERAs and losses. So even though you've got the stars, if you're going to supplement them with some guys that could work against you. Your bullpen is a little bit of work in progress, which I'm not surprised about, but in the end you usually work with holds and you do it well because most people don't. So overall, I think you got a quality team, but I think we've taken a step back since last year, and I do believe you'll be missing the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to have to agree to disagree, but that doesn't matter. So much to put into one video, it's ridiculous how much info is going to be in one of these little baby things. I don't even know what else to say. Before I was rudely interrupted, hello and welcome to Dissection of a Fantasy Team, the D.O.A.F.T. Dissection of a Fantasy Team, yes, D.O.A.F.T. And these D.O.A.F.s, Will Myers. Oh, have the mighty have fallen in a couple of years. No, that's right. Here it's going to be Sean talking about the bats, talking about offense. Good stuff all around, but we've always been missing something. We've missed, damn it. Good stuff all around, but we've always been missing something. We have, I can't even talk. Good. The sleeper kind of might be a funny choice considering who he is and how long he's been around, but I have the sleeper as David Wright, and here's the reason why. If his injury is treated as such that he cannot play every day and not re-injure himself, and I know that might sound weird, but if they give him, 2 days off a week and save his body and save his neck issue there, I think he can actually put up pretty decent David Wright numbers. So, hold on. Look, if the all 2008 team plays to that 2008 level, this could be a really great team. It really could be like a 4th place team. But with injuries and age, there's too many things going against it. I just don't see it happening. That's why I see it as the 9th best team. So we still have 8 more to go. The good news is that, look, if the All-Star team from 2008 play like it's 2008, this could be a really great team. This could be like a 4th place team if all those guys hit those levels. But with age and injuries, it's just not going to happen. And that's why I have Murderer's Row at the 9th slot. 8 more to go. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Only 12 more days. Nope, I'm not going to say that. Look, if this team performs like it's a 2008 All-Star team, which is what it is, and these guys perform to those 2008 levels, this could be a really great team. But with injuries and age, I just don't see it happening. That's why I see this as the 9th place team. Hopefully he can make the moves that he did last year and make the run he did then. So, look, if this were 2008, this team would be amazing. If these guys perform to the 2008 All-Star team levels that they could be at, this could be a really great team. It really could. This could be like a 4th place team. But the issues that I have is with age and injuries. I just don't see this team doing it now. Maybe Murderer's Row can make the run that he did last year with the moves that he made. Same deal, maybe it can happen, and I'm rambling. That's true. Look, I think everybody's down on this guy just because he had such a slow last year. No. I think everybody's down on this guy because he had such a rough last year. And, I mean, it wasn't awful, but it just wasn't anywhere close to what they expected out of him, Yasmani Thomas. And here's the thing. Yasmani Thomas, I think everybody was just looking for this amazing Cuban year, and he didn't have that last year. And I think that's why he's so low on everybody's radar. But he's going to get accustomed. He's having a great spring, and he's hitting in Chase Field. What is there not to like? Hello and welcome to the next episode of D.O.A.F.T. And guess what? Can you believe that I have this historic team, Ben's Champions, the powerhouse of the Keeper Fantasy Team League? What do we call this? Hello and welcome to the most shocking episode in the history of D.O.A.F.T. You know why? Because Ben's Champions, the powerhouse of the franchise Fantasy Baseball League, they've won almost, what, 40% of the championships. I don't even know if that's right, but something like that in all of the years of this league. Hold on, let's do this. Hello and welcome to the most shocking episode ever of D.O.A.F.T. Listen, this guy, Ben's championship. Hello and welcome to the most shocking episode of D.O.A.F.T. in the history of me making these videos. Ben's Champions. The franchise league has existed for 12 years. This is the 13th year. He has won 5 of the 12 championships. That's right. 5 of the 12 championships. He's the New York Yankees of this league. But the sad part is, he is the New York Yankees league. Fuck. Hello and welcome to the most shocking episode of D.O.A.F.T. in the history of me making these videos. Because this guy, this league has existed for 13 years. This is year 13. He has won 5 of the 12 championships. But you know what? He's not going to make the playoffs this year. That's right. The New York Yankees of this league is unfortunately the New York Yankees of this league. Okay. Here is fantasy tip of the day. If you are very young and you always seem to have issues with injuries, you are not a good fantasy proposition. I'm going with Maikel Franco. Why? Because I think he could have like the breakout 35 home run season, breakout star kind of year. He's kind of already shown it in spring training. Does spring training mean a lot? Maybe sometimes it doesn't. But I think he's in the right environment because there's just such low expectations for anything out of Philly. Might be just the right year to catch the lightning in a bottle, if you will. If you want to call it that. Just to show you how one little sample size immediately is true to everything. I mean, Corey Seager, it's not that he's going to be bad. But if you think this boy is hitting 337, you are out of your gourd, man. Okay? It is not going to happen. He is going to be a very good option at shortstop. But don't forget, there's a lot of issues with the lineup in there with the Dodgers, okay? So you've got all that happening. And everybody gets excited about Colorado, don't they? They say, oh, I love to hit in Colorado. What about the other ballparks in the NL West? Are you kidding me? San Diego. Bleh. LA, of course, another bleh, especially night games. Blah, 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 blah. All right? And then San Francisco, which actually is a decent place for doubles. And if you're a power hitter like lefty pull hitter, if you're a right-handed hitter, forget it. I mean, I don't know. I don't dig Seager. And this is going on too long. We'll have to redo this. You know, I kind of feel like a broken record, and that's why I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it seems like a lot of the teams in this league have the same identity, and they do the same things over and over again, and that's kind of the same thing we've got here. We've got, a couple of those offensive guys who are really, really good, but there's just no supporting cast around it, and then you've got the pitching where you've got the top end of this is so good, but the bottom half of it is going to bring it all back down, and you get a cluster, and obviously, Tom's team is really good, okay? I mean, Alaska Glaciers, I'm picking it, 4th place team. I think it is really good. But I think to hit that next level, you got to trim off the excess baggage there at the bottom and improve it. Get the things that you need more than having too much of something, because if you have too much of it, it's just going to bring you down. The more innings you pitch, the more issues there's going to be. There's going to be someone who gets lit up, even Clayton Kershaw has a 5-run start every now and then. And you know what? When you play in a weekly league, that can really hurt you. And I know that Tom doesn't have Clayton Kershaw, but you get the point. So, we're down to the final 3. Oh my goodness gracious. So much talking. Freddie Freeman has wrist issues. You can't have wrist issues and be a great fantasy player. This does not work out. I know that he's usually a 300 hitter. Notice how I said usually. And the other thing that puts it over the edge as to why I can see him be a huge bust, I have seen projections of lineups that have Nick Markakis as the number 3 hitter. What's wrong with Nick Markakis? Because you, the person watching this video, probably hits more home runs than Nick Markakis. So, you have a singles hitter in at the number 3 slot, and you're the number 4 hitter. I guess you can say, well, there's always someone on first base, but I think that cuts down a lot of RBI opportunities. Why? I don't know. I think I have to start this whole thing over because now I'm just talking in circles. Fuck. Okay. All kinds of issues here with this guy. Freddie Freeman, he has... Yes, the sleeper is Drew Smiley because he pitches for Tampa Bay now, and everybody's
No, I'm not done. I expect Team V to win the championship. No, I'm not done. I expect Team V to come out of retirement after 2
Southern Draw back with all your bullpen needs. First of all, we got Team Southern Draw back with all your bullpen needs. First of all, we've got Team V. Team Lee's got a pretty good bullpen. He's got Papelbon. That is always a solid closer. We also have, listen to this. Next, we got Team V. Team V, other places he's really good, just like. Now we're on to Murderer's Row. I have him as a middle of the pack bullpen. We've got Casey Jansen, which is the wrong Jansen. It's Kensley Jansen. I've got Team Joe Boo as having the second best bullpen. Now, you've got Chapman coming off suspension in May. You got Cody Allen, who has been very solid over the last 2 years. And you also have Frankie Rodriguez, a very underrated reliever, who has been solid for several years. And to top it all off, you got somebody else that I can't remember right now, so I have to look over my paper. Oh yeah, we got Pedro Strop, which is a solid middle relief guy for the Chicago Cubs, a team that's going to win a lot of games. And Brad Ziegler, closing in Arizona. I think that there's a lot of good about this team, and that's why I've got them at the number 2 closing slot when they do this. Welcome back to another season of Closing with Southern Draw. First, we got Bear Bashers. I have him as the number 6th ranked bullpen, mainly because he's got Dylan Betances. This guy is one of the top holds guys over the last 2 seasons. I don't think that's going to change at all. And then, on top of that, you got 3 guys who can get about 30 saves for you in Ken Giles, Hoover, and Rondon. Just know that this bullpen is about the 7th best in the league. Houston Street's always solid, and Familia is very solid for the Mets as well. But then after that, you got Broxberger, who may never come back and close this year. He's going to be hurt so long. And then the other guy that I can't remember right now. Hold on, I can get it. I can get it. I can't get it. Hold on. I can get it. Oh, well, Jeffries. Jeffries might not even close or do anything there for the Brewers. That's how bad this. The number 7 best bullpen for Just Know. Welcome back to another season of Closing with Southern Draw. I know you're happy, especially Globo.